Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and fellow Tower of God Season 2 anime watchers, enjoyers, lovers, haters, and everything in between. Welcome back. It is I, Chris Allen, with my trusty sidekick, the Hairline,
Yo.
and we are here to review possibly one of the hypest episodes of Season 2.
The most anticipated,
Yes, the
I
one
think.
where all the cope is funneling into. After this, we don't want to say our opinion yet, but after this, it can only go downhill. Quite literally speaking, I think it can only go downhill. This was the premiere fight, and it's done. So, we're going to talk about it, we're going to review it with the source material, and we're going to see, was it worth it? So, Adrian, who do you want to go first, me or you?
I think I'll go first,
Go right ahead.
if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
All
I'll
right.
put the visual aids here.
Yeah, so
All in.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's like they're aware. This is where you put it all in, all the copium.
All the budget.
Yeah, so I think I'll just start with the Anak versus Rand fight. I thought it was surprisingly good. I was pleasantly surprised with how they did it. Now I'm not saying it's like perfect or anything like that, but I'm saying from what we've seen, okay, that was a terrible freeze frame, but
Yeah, I had
from,
to change it
from
real
what we
quick.
see throughout the entirety of this anime, this is probably the best fight scene I think we've had.
Oh,
And it's
yes.
good because it's the best. It's the best fighter, I guess, or the one that
It's
everyone was waiting for. So if they were saving something for it, I guess
it's also the
this
longest.
is it. Yeah. I thought it was good. There were some awkward moments. Yeah, just the beginning. Like, why are they showing Ox foot like that? That was so weird. Who are they doing that for? Is there some specific audience or something? Or I don't know. That was a little awkward to me, but I just I let it rock.
She's
But
hundreds of years old.
I think Ran was pretty cool this episode. They did it pretty well. I'm kind of upset that oh my god. I'm kind of upset that Anak didn't have that much to show for this fight. And I do remember that she kind of does take a beating in this fight, but I feel like she does a little bit more. Because it seemed like Rand didn't really take much damage at all from Anak. We'll have to see the source material for me to remember. But
look at his eyes.
I don't know. It seemed like it was very one-sided on Rand's side. And the worst part for me of this fight, I think, was towards the end when Pericule shows up. It like the final attack seemed like it didn't seem like either of them were like tired or anything. Like look at them, they look like they're fresh. So I think they kind of screwed up there. It kind of reminds me of like when Prince like insta healed, like he took a potion or something after getting beat up by missing. So I thought that was a bit strange. We're gonna have to see the source material. Like I don't remember everything, right? But
yeah, it's been a while.
Like my spidey senses are tingling and saying like something's not right here.
They don't remain.
But yeah, that's crazy. Looking at where you are in the episode right now, like literally half the episode is just the fight.
Yeah.
Which I think is good that they allocated this time for it because it didn't feel as rushed.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel as rushed as like, a lot of the other stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, they're still rushing other things that we're gonna get to in a sec. But it's good that like they allocated some time for this fight, I guess. And they kind of did a pretty good job with it, relatively speaking. So I'm happy there, and for that reason, I think this episode's pretty enjoyable. Just for that, like everything else is like you could just ignore everything else and just have the fight here, and I think it's pretty enjoyable. But the issue I have is that we had to wait so long, episode 19, to get to this point, that I feel like a lot of the people that were interested in like Tower of God season 2 and enjoyed season 1 and maybe didn't like season 2 from the beginning might have fallen off and never reached this point. Which makes me kind of sad.
Okay.
But for those who stuck around, I think they had something pretty good with this. Especially if you haven't read the manhwa and like you're seeing this for the first time, I think that's pretty good. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So moving on to what happens, we have Hots using the pipe to fight the crab monster thing. Yeah, I thought the crab monster was animated interestingly. It looked like he came from a different show.
Yeah.
He was just like he just looked different.
I
didn't. Something like a lot of this is kind of based off vibes because I don't remember too much, but like Leroro revealing himself didn't hit the way that I remembered it hitting because it was like a big reveal for me when I first read it. The party, they missed something big with the party, and I don't know if they're going to show it. It might have like fallen because of time constraints or whatever. But during the party, I think there was supposed to be a moment where Gosang and Horiang have
We
like a
might you
moment
might want to
together.
be careful. Yeah, yeah. They might show it next time.
Oh, they
Honestly,
might show it next. No shot. Okay, it looked like
you know
they.
they like to move things around.
Okay. Well, it just seems like the party is missing stuff.
It's a very short party for right now.
Yeah, because they went right to the part um where Rack goes to infiltrate.
Yeah, where he goes to try and find Bomb, be like, you know what, I've had enough of
Yeah.
this shit.
hmm
Which,
And
talking about that
that
part,
yeah, that was probably the most rushed part of the episode, I think. Especially with the end where you get the big hug scene, which I think is one of the most notable moments, especially for manhwa readers. I think a lot of people, when they think of like top Tower of God moments or like emotional moments, like this moment right here where like Rack meets Mom after a long time is like one of those moments for some people. So it was kind of weird that
real
like
grace.
they gave
That's
it a
it.
second and a half
Yeah.
and just ended it there. Like they could have given it maybe like just like 2 seconds more or something like that, just to let it like hold a little bit longer.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they missed that pretty big, and like just all the interactions went by really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think it sums up like basic summary of the episode.
So
Um,
overall, you like the Rand fight?
I
You liked
thought
it?
they did it pretty good. Yeah, I was like pleasantly surprised because I guess my expectations were low for
Uh-huh.
starters, which is good. But like Rand's lightning looked pretty potent this episode. Like the
Yes.
Shinsu looked good. It looked better than what we've seen so far.
Mm.
There was some like repetitive parts, like when Anak was punching, it was like repeated scenes, like they were just showing it over and over.
Yeah, the
So it didn't
animation was
really,
just looped.
it wasn't unique. Yeah, it was looped animation, so it was a bit awkward, but yeah, I liked it. I think that's all there is to it. I am like my biggest thing is like the ending and the lack of like Anok's performance, or at least when she did things, it didn't look as good as Rand's lightning. Like when she smashed the whole the stage,
The arena, yeah. I know
it didn't look
exactly
as
what you're
good
talking about, yeah.
as when Rand was shooting lightning spears or whatever.
Yeah, right here.
Right there, yeah, you can see it's like I don't know, it doesn't look right.
So I know exactly what they're going for. There's other animes where they do this style of thing of breaking shit and it just
hmm
turns into like rectangles. I'll say this, I don't think you've seen it, but this is a very, very popular thing in My Hero Academia. Now, sadly, I don't have the clip on here, but and I don't want to spoil too much for that
hmm
show too. But they use this kind of technique a lot, where like they smash something big and it just becomes rectangles, but it just looks way better when it's done by
yeah,
them, and that's at this point years old. So
right, yeah,
kind
it's
of
it's iffy for me. It didn't look powerful, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it felt like Rand took most of the budget for this fight, which I mean is whatever. It's fine by me. I love Rand and I think he did a good job here. So
mm,
yeah, I don't know. I think it was a pretty good episode. So I'm all right with it. Yeah.
okay.
hmm
Well,
I'll let you say what you want to say.
okay. So similar to Adrian, I came in with very low expectations. In some ways, I was surprised, right? The biggest thing I think the animators have a problem with is choreography. And, you know, this is the best thing we're getting in season 2. Hands down, this has to be the best thing. I don't expect things to get better, like I said. This is where, though, even with the fight, we basically they showed their whole hand. We saw the best they could do, right? I don't think. Okay, so see, this is gonna be so wishy-washy because in some respects it's good relative to everything else, but in other respects it's not good. Even in the fight with some of the freeze frames here that I've been showing, right? There's times where Ren looks like weird. Like he looks like his eyes aren't like
hmm
spaced correctly. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
like there's points where they get kind of lazy, where it's like, okay, like look at this, he's kind of just floating up. He does the moves are okay, but it's just slow.
Yo,
Like
show the
it's
spear. Keep it going.
okay.
One more
I'll
second.
show this.
Let's see how this
Like
comes out.
Ran looks different, right? And I've always said this, and I keep saying the same thing. Ran in the mono looks 100% cooler.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, he definitely has a different vibe.
here,
The way he
boom.
looks.
Like okay, this was cool, but until this end point here, where they slow it down, like okay, it was pretty cool, right? He's charging up. It goes a little slow, but that's fine. Boom. But right here, when they show this, it's like, okay, why do we have to freeze it here? It's like when every big event happens, they slow it down to make sure you could see it, and because they probably don't want to animate more. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, this is where I think, again, it is the best fight, but there is times where, like Adrian said, they're just like repeating shit. Like, look at that, right? Like that
Mm-hmm.
was literally just them, floating. I don't know what it's called animation wise, but like, look, right? They're not really moving anymore. Like this frame is just them getting like dragged upward.
Yeah.
Like okay, right? You
You
see
know,
there,
low
Anak
budget.
isn't really moving either. She's just being dragged upward, and then you see the thing of it. It works. Like the sad part is it works. It's not great. It's not terrible. It worked, but it's like B tier things. It's not like this is not my face when I saw this, but you know it's like there's points where it's like that looks good, right? The Shinsu looks good, and we can see here like boom, right? Boom. See, that was quick. Obviously,
Yeah.
you see Rand's face here, right? It's low quality, but it's fine here. Like it's okay. But here you can see. I think this is where Nox starts like punching. I believe this was the reuse thing. Okay, maybe it's a little bit before. I think it's right here. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
right here, right here. It's
Yeah.
just the same thing, and it's like okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're
That one
they're
felt
definitely
awkward.
stretching out their skills here for sure. We saw the maximum they could do, and again, it's passable. Like if you're trying to pass the exam, you're getting the lowest grade you can, but you're not failing. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I would rate this fight. Where again, it was an actual fight. It was cool. Like there was some points where I could turn my brain off. I could like forget I'm a mono enjoyer, and I could just like do it.
Exactly. That's the
But
thing. Yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
like the bare minimum, and they had. It's like Adrian said, they did this for the last big fight of the fucking season. It's like I waited this long to finally be able to like willingly turn my brain off for like half an episode for this.
Yeah.
It's
They
just like
lost a lot of people.
it's like what about all the other shit, man? It's just wasted wasted potential. Not on the animators, on the show. Like the show just got done dirty, man. But I
Mm-hmm.
was telling it to Adrian too at this point, where because it already has a season two, it's probably really going to have a high chance to get a season three. And at that point, I really hope. See, I don't know what the metric is that they'll go off of to where if they use the same animators. I hope they don't, but who really
Mm-hmm.
knows? But we just gotta pray for season three to be better,
Yeah, I don't
man.
think they will, honestly, because I know this has not been very well received. And I
Yeah.
mean, season one wasn't well received, and look what they did. And see, it's kind of with an asterisk. There were like a lot of people chirping about season one being trash, but I never had an issue with it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people were in that same boat. But I feel like a lot more people are complaining about this season
Mm-hmm.
than
Another
than
weird
season
thing.
one.
Yeah, another weird thing is like it's the same thing that happened to Prince. It's like okay, you see all this like thing that all this damage Naka's taken, and then by the final thing, it's like they're fine. Like okay, Ren
Yeah.
literally looks like he just started the fight here. Anak
Mm-hmm.
literally has no blood on her anymore. Like she recovered.
Exactly.
It's like what happened?
Yeah, that
It's just
was
like
one of
what?
my gripes with the whole thing. And
Yeah,
it's
we
such a small detail that they could have gotten. Like even with their low animation quality or whatever, it's
yeah.
like they forgot about it.
But aside from the Ren versus Anak fight, which like I said, it was okay. It was the bare minimum of passing, but everything else, right? To kind of shift gears here, a lot of other times now, I think it's kind of the same quality. I don't necessarily think they saved budget by taking it away from the quality of the other parts of the episode. I just think the other parts of the episode just weren't done well visually speaking, right? Obviously, story wise, they rushed through things a lot, and we're going to show that in just a minute here. But visually, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
people's eyes weren't aligned. People were obviously low quality if they were zoomed too far out. It's just the same shit. It's the same shit as always. So
Mm-hmm.
overall, the Rand fight, okay. Everything else, business as usual, if not a little bit worse, probably. But it's just this was it, man. I hope for everyone else, they enjoyed it. At the end of the day, I'm not coming here to try and be like, what? You think this was good? How dare you enjoy it? No, right? I'm not like that. Trust me, I'm the first one who
Mm-hmm.
wants people to like this. But it's just, man, it should have been such a higher standard. Like, look at Rack here. Rack looks like poor here. Like, he does, it looks like whatever. But, it is what it is. Basically, the Ram fight, everything else, whatever. You can even see, like, Look at May's face here, right? Her face is like, it's just low quality, man. Red Palejo is over here, like you can tell they're definitely not spending too much time on this shit, but it is what it is. Either way,
Mm-hmm.
Ramp 5 was
Yep.
alright. So now we'll get into after seeing, Rak cry here. Man, this part was so good. Like I'm like, oh shit, right? Like, oh man, he's crying. The tears look good. There's some like reflection on them. Oh my god, he's sweating. You know, Kun is over here resting, and it was just like a major blue ball, man. Like this got me so sad. Like, oh man, look, the lighting is good too. Like if you just take this as a freeze frame, I think this is so nice. And then that's it. And then it's like done. It's like, what? How dare you end it there? You
They didn't
fucked
even give me a
us.
second to digest it.
Like I'm like shell shocked. It's like, man, this is good. Like this looks good and it feels good. And then you're like, it's a major blue ball. But hey man, hopefully it brings people to come next week, right? But you know, the fight was what it was. Anyway, let's stop dilly dally. Let's get to the shit. So, coming back from a last manhwa comparison, we could see here that Bomb was basically confronting Beta, and then the fight starting. So here, things aren't high quality here either, right? Let's say it how it is. But obviously, we see shirtless Novik. We didn't get this in the other thing in the other episode. And then we see more details where everyone has their points remaining. We never see like the biggest thing I'm confused is, and I guess it doesn't necessarily matter, but if you are a person who cares about the details, you're kind of getting fucked in the anime where
Yeah.
if you don't care, it doesn't matter. But if you do care, you're kind of left like asking questions that are never going to get answered that do get answered in here, right? How many points do they have? What's kind of the stakes here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a big thing to point out here is that Ruan Mei is losing the whole time.
Yeah.
And then she ends up winning.
The whole thing. Like that adds another layer where it's like at the end it's like
it's like a shock factor.
Yeah, you're thinking if you're just like an anime enjoyer, it's like, oh okay, cool, she won. Like you don't really think much of it. But if you're reading the manhwa, it's like, oh damn, like she was last, now she's first, she came back up. It's like, okay, cool. A lot of details as always.
It also shows like how good some of the people are. Like you can see that Shibisu is like behind Kun, and then Reflejo is tied with them. Like it shows like how good they've been going with their betting. So it gives you like an insight of like how intelligent are these characters? How much do they know?
So much better, man. He looks so much better.
He's locked in right now.
You know what it is? I think the mask, because I'm assuming it's a mask here. The mask's eyes in the anime are too big sometimes. Like here, it's like sharp. In the anime, it's rounded and it's big, but here we see the crowd, we see them cheering. Ran again looks way better. He looks like more rounded. We see shirtless Novik again, very sexy. And then they're like, look at this shit. Look at this shit. I'm pretty sure this was in the last episode too, though. That's I think how they ended it.
Yeah.
But here, Shibisu's like, okay, fuck. Who am I gonna vote for? And again, look, extra details we never got. They basically just threw out the points. Like
they threw the points game out. Yeah,
it's just you're betting with whatever.
I mean, at this rate, the anime is at such a tight schedule that they're just cutting wherever they can. And I guess like the game was on the chopping block, so they just put the bare minimum so like what's going on to pass the story on. Like, oh, everyone lost except for these two people. Okay, let's go to the next scene.
Yep, and that's basically it. So that's that chapter. And again, it's something where it's like, is it acceptable, right? Because obviously I want the animation to be good, I want the story to be fully fleshed out with all the details, but what's realistically feasible, right? Are we, can we play devil's advocate here? And it's like, I guess it's doable, but I don't want to give them any favors because they're not winning in any other category. It's like, you guys don't deserve the sympathy, kind of, if you were like time constrained or whatever, but
if the animation was better, we could ignore some of the speeding up portions, because we know that like the workshop battle and like the build up to it for season 2 is like a lot of chapters. So they're cut, like I think compared to season 1, which was like 80 chapters, something like that, this is like 100 and something. So it's a lot more to get through.
Yeah, you can see here
it is 24 episodes, but it's like it is more.
Oh, it's 24
or 20 something. I don't know where they're gonna
23
stop.
But
23 maybe. Yeah,
it doesn't matter either way.
Yeah.
So here we can see why Shibisu's doing what he's doing. Again, more details, because he's like, oh, if I get this amount of points, I'll be in an advantage. blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they're like, you see more of the dialogue between the betters, the captain betters, and they're like, we don't know. Here we saw this in the anime. We saw Kun kind of doing his thing, and obviously we know who Kun votes for. So here, we get more Shibisu dialogue, internal dialogue. And again, this is where he's like, you know what? No, I trust people on my team. And
Mm-hmm.
look, he goes all in, and then we have giggling. Oh, but who is this, right? Again, another thing the anime did, and they kind of did this with Rack, and they did this with Leroro. They reveal people really quickly in the anime, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, they just take away like the whole surprise factor. So they take
Yep.
away details, they take away the surprise factor, they switch things around, they skip over things. Again, all these are bad things, but either way. So, they're gonna fight. Here you see Pericule, Ren, and, Anak. Anak obviously looking a little bit different, but I like the way she looks here. She looks more like kid-like, which is funny. And then here
Yeah.
we have Rack, yelling like, oh, what the fuck? And they're like, oh no, Kun already can tell what's going on here. But anyway, Pericule's talking his shit. Everyone's like beating each other again. They skipped over this, but that's fine. But they obviously had to. If you're gonna skip over anything, this is fine. Here this guy's trying to like shove it up Pericule's ass. He's still running, and people are literally like, okay, look at this like gore. It's like holy shit. These people are just beating the fucking dog out of each other. Like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my god. Either way, this group doesn't want to do shit because Ran and Anak are just, they're staring at each other. That's one thing that, again, they mentioned in the anime, but it, like, didn't hit for me until I realized it. Like, oh yeah, there's other people in their ring. You didn't
Yeah.
even really
Mm-hmm. I
notice
was
them.
noticing that too. Yeah, they didn't really show
Yeah, they
that there
were
were other
saying,
people.
like, oh yeah, let's have this be a one-on-one. And I was like, wait, it's not a one-on-one already? There's no one else here. But apparently there was, but they just didn't show them. So here we have Chang and Wangnan and Quattro. Chang looking way cooler as always, more serious. And he's like, oh, he's basically saying which one's going to win. And, this is where they suggest, hey, let's do the one on one. So we don't get interrupted by all these losers that we can actually see this time. So, obviously, what is this, Funk or Punk, whichever one it is? He's like, I don't know. And then this is where, again, the crowd here, the people, chime in. They're like, no, we don't want this. Even the participants are like, nah, like, what the fuck, right? So, again, they did mention this, but showing it is a different thing. Show, don't tell. That's always the gold standard. So obviously Madarako tells him, this, and that. This is one thing I will give the anime that I was very confused about when I personally first read the manhwa. When I see this thing here, I don't know who's talking here. In the anime, I know Madarako's voice, so I know it's him. So that's like a big plus for the anime, where it's like sometimes we will know who it is. But either way, it's a small thing. So Rand suggests it, here's why, and this is where he's getting the one-on-one. And again, we see more details where it was a rule that was beneficial to Ran. Like Ran's actually taking an L here, but he wants to do it. So we see, oh my god, we see Anak is like crazy and she likes this. And she's getting angry too. She's like, "Oh, you're underestimating me." I think Anak has more aura. Great. I will give them this though. They did get her crazy gorilla aura somewhat decent in the anime. Like you could see with her facial expressions and everything, and how she reacted. She did actually, seem a little crazy and battle hungry, which sometimes they don't capture right, but they definitely did it here. I think it was done decently well in the anime. So here Rand's looking calm, cool, and collected as always. They're like, all right, we're gonna fuck you up now. So here he eats the thing, and again, in the anime, what do? They show it. In the manhwa, they hide it. You're like, wait, what is that, right? And look, Anaga's just straight up saying like, oh, are you taking drugs, man? Like, what the fuck? So here Anaga's blitzing him. Here we see a cute little Shibisu thing. And then, oh shit, right? Like, what's going on? The facial expressions are so much better. Here we see the same scene kind of mirrored, but because Nock was doing this on, I believe, the left. So here she punches Ren. In the manhwa, it's a little less violent, ironically enough. In the anime, I think they kind of added more to it. It like looked like there was more of an impact with the dust cloud. But either way, Ran is like, oh man, like look, he looks so much cooler here
He
because
looks
his
amazing
yeah,
here.
because his
Yeah.
eyes are actually spaced correctly. Like his hair looks
Oh my
cool with
god,
the
Nog looks
lightning.
better too. I feel like the characters don't even look like the characters. They
I
look like kind of like
know.
caricatures of each other.
Yeah, it's like
Like they don't feel
generalized.
like the character.
It's like a general, like imagine you tried to draw them, but as a regular person. Like they don't have
Yeah.
their specific details. It's so weird, but Ren is the perfect example of it, as well as others. But either way, they're describing what's going on. Here we see looks way cooler, way cooler. You see the lightning like running through his hands. Let me get this scene again because this shit pissed me off too. I like now that I'm seeing it again, I was like, okay, it's whatever, right? So we're right here. So you can see the lightning, kind of flickering on him. That's pretty cool. And then look, a knock doesn't look bad here, right? They did focus here on the faces, which was good. But here we're gonna see, Ran is gonna do his shit. Oh wait, did he already do it?
I think it was a little earlier, yeah.
Oh, did he? Okay. Did he? What? Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
think you're
because the
right.
whole the
Wow.
whole episode is the fight. Yeah, so we have to go a little further back.
Damn. Okay, here we go. Was this it where he like? Yeah, yeah. Okay, right here. So here, right? I mean, it's like really quick if you freeze frame it. I guess it looks cool, but it's the angle. It's like whatever. It's like okay. Here you see a Nox face. This shit got me funny. I actually like this part. So you got they're not terrible with everything, but here it looks
Mm-hmm.
like a lot cooler. And a Nox like, oh what? She dodges. She's like, oh shit. Did she actually? Oh yeah, no, she did dodge it. Here he does the Kamehameha. He looks way cooler, and you just see a Nox face. She's like distraught. She's like, what the hell? Boom. I actually think they did this one decently well in the anime. The Shinsu was done okay this episode for sure. I think the Shinsu didn't like. Oh my. Okay, see that looked fucking good, right? She floats up like a very slow motion balloon, but okay. But then here, right? This looks good. I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
fuck, right? Like, look at that.
Yeah,
Damn. See,
exactly.
some
Yeah, I
of
thought
this
it
shit
was done
looks
pretty well.
good. So here we go. We get back to beta. I think is this one they did it to? Are they following it completely? Not really, they're not. Okay, so they did switch it around. So at this
Mm-hmm.
point, we get to beta, but either way, same shit just switched, which I guess is fine. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, never mind. We
Oh,
see more details
we
about
missed
beta
some
being,
stuff.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
So this is the thing, right? So in the anime, beta seems to be his own entity, right? He seems to have a lot of freedom. You don't see like the other side where it's like, okay, what is going on with him? What is he? Who is he? What's happening? And here we see, I wonder who that is, right? Again, there's
Yeah.
a lot more
Mm-hmm.
mystery to this shit. You see more people, you see more shit happening. Oh, Kasano, like, oh shit, right? Kasano's in on it because he's with Sophia. Again, massive, massive details they're skipping over. Either way, here we have. Oh my Jesus Christ! Okay, so here you see the
The
results of
audience.
their action, and you can see one of the competitors is literally just an arm in front of Pericule, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Right? These sick fucks, Chang and Quattro like it, which again adds more to their characters. We know more about them now, right? We know Quattro is
Mm-hmm.
sick. Now we know Chang is kind of chuckling. Wang Nan obviously is like, "Holy shit!" Right? So here, they did show us that they're asking like, "Oh, are they even our level?" They don't seem like it. They seem better. Here, Anak is like coming, Rand's coming. Anak's like shit talking him, and here we go. They're trying to like hit. So they did this part. Wait,
Look how much
okay,
cooler this looks here. Yeah, they skipped some details. Like they kind of put some of these fight scenes in different areas.
yeah. So I'm
I don't think that
noticing
happened like in the stands.
it. Yeah, it didn't happen in the sense. It happened where I think. Oh my god! Like, see, this isn't terrible. Like they're definitely
Yeah.
re-adding certain scenes, or not
And this is
re-adding,
their
but
style too. It's not like they're working any harder. It's just like they're doing it better with what they can already do. Because obviously, like their animation isn't like top tier, but like with
yeah,
this slow type of animation, they still make it look good when they have the choreography looking like that.
yeah. So I'm
Where
trying
it's
to
like
see.
slowdowns and then speeds up at certain times. Like it's not just slow the whole duration.
Yeah, I know there was a part where she like punched his leg, but it doesn't matter either way. So yeah, they're definitely missing some scenes here. They changed them around where they're on the stands here. They're fighting close quarters combat. Here you could see like Ren is just
We
absolutely
just
okay.
saw
There
this
it is.
scene.
Yeah,
Yep.
there it is. He's kicking her in the jaw. She looks fine here. Okay, so he's really just like annoying her at this point. She's so fucking taking
Mm-hmm.
it. Again, this is all happening in the stands, which is a little different. Here, they're just like shocked. But again, she looks fine because again, she's tanky, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here, Rand describes the lightning pill. Again, I don't know why they didn't do this in the anime. They usually did this, but obviously main answer is time constraints. Here
Right.
they're showing a
Yeah.
visual of like kind of what's happening.
Yep. When they explain the games, they usually do that, but
Yeah.
in this case, they didn't do it.
So here, they're getting angry, right? And Shabisa's like, no, Anak, don't do it. So here it's like, look at this shit, right? What the hell does this look like? This shit looks crazy. So here we see the attacking. Obviously, this is where the anime could have done
Still in
better.
the stands.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
still in the stands. The anime could have done better here, and you can see how serious Ran is too. Like Ran looks cool here. In the anime, his eyes are a little weird spaced, but here it's like the anime could have done this so fucking well, but they just put it on loop. So we saw this, right? And just look at Anok's face. Like this is so good. Oh my god. Like holy shit, she's getting clubbed and she's like, "Oh, net. Oh shit." And again, other details, right? What, I wonder who taught this to him. I wonder what this is based off of.
Mm-hmm.
Mashini style. Okay. So here we saw the same thing in the anime, just kind of mirrored. I think Anak was on the left, here she's on the right. And, Ran is like, oh yeah, I got you now, right? And then Kun's glazing him because they're related, and also because he's doing good. Ran is literally running through the water to get to her, right? And then look, he's clocking her right in the jaw. Boom, right? Boom. Like this shit has the rings and everything. Let me see this shit. How'd they do this shit in the fucking anime? Where was this?
Further back, I
Further
think.
back. Okay.
Yeah, it already happened.
These right
Right
here.
there.
So, yeah, like where's the effect here? But the effect was like so much lesser.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had it with the Kamehameha, but they didn't do it with this one.
Yeah, like here it's just again, she's just floating up. She's not even like moving. Here, you don't see her, but it's again added effect because you see the smoke and everything. You see the fucking rings of power. Like, oh my god! And it actually has it's called something. It's called arc lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Here, in the anime, you just think, oh, he just punched her, but no, this was a technique. He's shooting lightning at her. So, then they're describing how Anaka would win, but she's like kind of, getting played mentally. So here again, he like oh my god, what is this? What is this? He looks like a demon. He looks like a fucking demon. So here, like, oh my god, he's just fucking her. And then here, right, you see, I believe that's the thing on his face. I'm not sure though, but again, this is like the Hunter narrator here, like, bruh, she's just trying, but it's not working. Look at this shit, man. Oh no. Oh my god, it looks so much cooler. You can see her gritting her teeth, like, either out of pain, and you can see how the panels do it too. The panels do it so cool. You see Rack, or not Rack. You see Ran on the left here, a knock on the right, and through the middle, you see it coming down. Boom. Cross slash. Boom. And this is where they actually did change it, didn't they? Here it is
No.
saying it went through her heart.
Oh. Oh yeah, you're right.
So they actually
I thought you
changed
meant
that.
like the scene. The scene
But
looks
no, the scene
similar.
was the
They did the
same.
scene pretty similar, which I think is good.
I
But
think the
yeah, they
manhwa looks
did.
way better though with how they organized it. Like they
Yeah.
zoomed in on a Nox face just getting like angry, like, oh
They hyped it
no.
up before it happened, whereas like in the anime, I think it just happened without much of. It's just Rand charging up. There
Yeah.
wasn't really showing a knock,
Like, look,
gritting or
this
anything like
this
that.
was like shit to me. Like his eyes look too far apart here. This was okay. Again, it was alright, but compared
Yeah,
to
the
the
hit was
manhwa,
good.
it's just, oh man, it's just the whole thing was good.
Yeah.
But either way.
Yeah.
So yeah, he hits her heart, and then, oh no, that's it, right? So let's go next chapter. So here we go finally back to Beta and Bomb, and Beta's giving him some lore about why he's here, what Fug really wants, right? And then, he kind of says something different. So I don't know if it's a mistranslation thing, but Beta says, oh yeah, ask them, right? And I'm thinking like, oh, is Bomb gonna ask Reflejo? Is he gonna ask Fug? But no, he asks Emily. And then here, Beta literally tells him, like, oh, ask her, right? Ask Emily, she'll tell you about it. A little bit more of a concise answer.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, Beta leaves. We go back to the fight here. Boom. This shit's fucked up. People are like, oh my god. Pericule is like always in the background here. You see him. Again, the guy's severed arm was there. Pericule's like, oh shit. Hercule's here drowning. He's like, oh no, help me, right? And then here Ran is just, and look, you see him in the background there again. You see him calling Ran garbage.
Mm-hmm.
He said, help me, you garbage. Either way, the announcers are glazing Ran as they should. Ran's like, alright, cool. So I won, cool. You can see Anak bloodied and fucked up here, right? At this point, I thought she was dead. I was like, no way he actually killed her. Because again, what does he say? I got you through the heart, right? It's like, oh shit. But anyway, Rand even tells her, like, you're too arrogant. He kind of does the classic anime thing. But no. I thought this was way more epic in the manhwa. In the anime, it's kind of like she was already sitting down while she was talking with, like, full sentences. Here, she said one thing and then she just sits up. It's like, oh, shit. But here, we see that Rand actually did do it away from the heart. So I guess the manhwa just kind of duped us. So there's
Mm-hmm.
that. So look, even a not like yo, this shit was so cold. The 5 minutes isn't over yet. Like, oh shit, she wants her pride to do it. And then here we kind of see, I
Get a
think, some
flashback.
some flashback of Anok's memories of like, what's driving her. And then here, like, oh man, this is so cool. She's like, nah, I'm not done.
I'm kind of mad they didn't show that.
Yeah. Oh my god. And look, it's called the Sword of Light. Again, we're getting more details because we're hearing Rand's inner monologue here. Right?
Mm-hmm. They
He's
don't have
like,
time.
yeah, he's like, there's no way, like, even a jihad can last long with that bleeding. Again, more details, right? So here she's fighting him. She's kind of, she can't even do reinforcement properly. Again, more details. And then here he's about to poke her two eyes out. But oh no, wait a minute. She's blitzing him. But wait a minute, no, she's destroying the stage. So I think in the anime it was kind of they emphasized it more. They tried to make more of an animation with it, with again like the big rectangles, which were
Mm-hmm.
done better in other stuff. But
Yeah, I
either
feel like
way,
it backfired a little bit. They
yeah,
tried to add more in that, but it felt like it backfired in my
yeah,
opinion.
like
I
it
didn't like it
seemed
that
like a
much.
bigger deal in the anime than here, but it wasn't. It didn't feel like a bigger deal, even though they put more
Yeah.
emphasis on it. Here, Anak looks like a fucking beast. Obviously Ren looks like a refined person here, and again,
Yeah, and look how beat up Anak is right now.
yeah, and you could see Rand's like, questioning now. He's like, damn, like how is she still going? There's all these things you don't get in the anime, man. Fuck. So obviously he's trying to surmise like, why is she like this, but he couldn't break her confidence. Again, you see his reasonings, right? You see like, oh wow, he was trying to mentally break her, which he was doing, but it didn't work, right? Here we see this part of the anime, she's like, oh, come get me, right? And then here she's kind of doing the reversal on him, and it's kind of working. Oh shit, Red's going in. Oh shit, they're fighting. Red's kind of still winning. Oh shit, but she's trying. Boom. She literally cracks the arena. Like the arena wasn't done getting abused. So here we go, right? They shake up the entire stage, and then she's still recovering. She's still fighting. So I think they kind of not extended. They kind of shortened the fight
They
in the
cut it,
anime.
yeah.
Yeah. So here, Kun said the same thing at this point, but look at what she did. Like, holy fucking shit, she made a hole in that shit. So, we're back to all in, and then now Ren is getting, like, baited. This is where Ren gets baited. So here he's about to try and blitz her, and then, Kun's like, oh no. And then Chang is like, oh, here we go. And then look, this looks so much more epic here. Like, they put a lot more emphasis. And look, they even showed the fucking betters. They're like, oh my god. And then boom, everyone's looking. And then what happens? So again, this is done way better in the manhwa. And then boom, Paracule. I feel like they really fucked it up in the anime. I feel like this part did
Yeah.
not hit. Like
I agree.
they kind of just lost steam here. But either way,
Yep.
everyone's shocked and they're like, "Oh my god!" And then boom, they both lose. And then Bomb confirms the thing with Emily, and he's like, "Wow, Beta wasn't lying." So then going to the next one, we actually see Traveler here. So either they're gonna move this into the next episode, but realistically speaking, they're probably not because they don't care about him. I wonder if we're ever gonna we have to see Traveler again in the anime, right? Because his whole arc is with Emily. The whole reason he's here is because he
Yeah,
wants
we'll
to
see him
save
again.
Emily. But
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of again, maybe they're pushing it back to another episode, but you know, I'll kind of glaze over this for now. But basically, we'll go over it next time. But either way. So here we see Hatz going down to the thing. We see him exploring more. This thing looks way cooler here, honestly. Here we see he's kind of being stalked by the crab. And he's like, oh, you know, what do I do? And then boom, the crab comes in. So this is the weird part. And, you know, we kind of mentioned already, but in the anime, it's like a weird 3D model thing. Here it looks obviously like normal to Tower of God, but it's just like, what the hell? So the crab is, it's called a Gugua crab, too. Again, more details if you wanted it. It's obviously trying to fuck Kun up. I think, again, this just looks way better here. It's flying, it has, like, jets and shit. And, you know, fucking Hotch just grabs, like, the random fucking pipe. He's like, alright, you know what? Let's do it. I think Hotz looks mad cool here, too. He looks, like, so normal, but so confident, so ready. So here we could see he's strengthening using Shinsu. Again, we don't get these details in here. We see it, though. I remember in the anime, he does strengthen it kind of with Shinsu. It started, like, glowing a little bit, but we're like, okay, you know, he's empowering it. Again, we can make the logical assumption, but having it said here is also good, too. So
yeah,
here
they skip a lot of the fight, too.
Yeah, here he's cracking it. It's not working. The thing's trying to shoot him. We never got this, right? He's deflecting it. You know, I'm glad we didn't get this because it would have looked like shit. But either way, you know, here he's remembering Kasano again. His motivations, and now look, oh shit. So this is what we got in the anime. This is where like the power went through it. He's about to go. He's rushing towards the crab. Boom, boom, boom. Looks way cooler because again he's actually blocking shit. It really felt like the crab did nothing in the anime. The crab was just sitting there and kind of just charging him. But either way, we actually hear the move's name, and then boom, right in its fucking eye. Oh yeah, and again, this looks like it actually took damage. In the anime, it didn't look like this, but that could be for the 3D model. But whatever the reason is, it looked like shit. So here it's exploding. In the anime, it kind of looked weird to me. It didn't look like it was exploding. It looked
I
like...
didn't think it was exploding either,
Yeah,
but they said it,
yeah,
which was
afterward.
kind of weird to me.
Afterward. So
yeah,
they kind of made it seem in the anime like I was about to say Kun. They kind of made it seem like Hotz didn't fully kill it. Like he actually fucked up. Which again, they just don't want to do it right. They couldn't do it right. So here we see it was a little bit of a different name in the anime, but they actually did say the name, which at that point makes me question, why did Leroro say the name of his attack, but people like Ran and people like Hotz don't? It doesn't make any sense.
well, in this thing, he's actually saying it, whereas like when Rand does it, it's like the narrator saying it.
Oh, really?
You see, he has like the text
I thought
bubble.
Rand says it sometimes too.
I don't think Rand says it. No.
At all?
No.
Wow. Okay, so I guess
Doesn't
that's
mean
why.
they shouldn't have it though. I think it would be good to show like the Mashni style or something.
Yeah, I think it would be fine if they just made Rand say it, honestly. But regardless,
yeah, I'm not against it either.
Yeah. So you know, this is where like, oh, I wonder who this guy is. And again, the anime already spoiled this for us, right? But this is where, again, the anime could have done this great because the voice, right? Leroro has a very distinct voice in the anime. It's a really good voice actor. And, you know, here, you know, if you didn't see the next panel, you'd be like, oh, I wonder what voice that is, right? And then obviously you see it. And he looks really fucking cool here, by the way. Like, the suit melds way better onto his body. But either way, so big reveal row. So you can see we're getting through, like, a lot of chapters, but they're not showing a lot in the anime because they're trying to rush it. So either way, here we don't get, I think, the details in the anime, but here we see, why is Ro here? Oh, he quit his job, right? He's doing part-time. And, you know, obviously, we're not going to get too much more, but either way, they're getting back to the party. But yeah, no, we didn't get the details about Ro being here. We didn't know he was unemployed or working part-time or whatever. But here, Ro actually adds a little detail here we never got. They're making the worst weapon, I believe. I actually don't remember. The main thing I remember is the Anak fight. But either way, here again, we skip this. We see Madarako. We see Madarako's in on it. He's like, yeah, I want Juvial Grace in my grubby little hands.
Get copyright music.
Yeah, okay, here it is. So Adrian mentioned this to me, and I was like, damn, how the fuck did you remember this? But again, because Funk and Punk are obviously, you know, not callbacks, but references to Daft Punk, this is where they're singing Daft Punk song, which there's no way, again, they were getting that shit in the anime, but either way, pretty cool. Sad detail that we missed, but we see them playing it too. There's also a third one there. So here, you know, Wang Nan is lamenting. He's remembering, like, damn, that's what happened. Chang looks a lot cooler. Wang Nan looks pretty the same. Obviously, they're all in their suits. I don't think Arc Raptor looked like this when they were having the party. Did he? Yeah, Arc Raptor's in his normal thing. They don't want to change clothes, bruh. They don't want to
Hmm.
change clothes. Like, at least they changed it for Wongnam, but why not Arc Raptor? Like, are you kidding me? Either way, we see the absolutely stunning and gorgeous Endorsi. I think the anime did this okay as well too. Obviously, it's in their style, but I think the manga looks better personally. Here we get we actually did hear this in the anime. We hear Endorsi kind of like shit talk everyone in her mind. So there's the outward appearance that she has to have as a princess, and then there's what she thinks about them, which is like they're pigs. Either way, here we see Little Red. Oh shit! Like the fact that
Come
we
on,
skip
dude.
this gets me so angry.
They skipped this.
Like
This is
they
what I'm
skipped
saying.
the interaction between Anak and Ran. Like, oh my god. But either way, so basically Anak is questioning like, oh, I thought after the lightning pill, like, you couldn't do anything. And here we see that Ran was actually still controlling himself. He wasn't going all out, which is crazy. And he also slept. But it's actually wild. And then here, he's like, "Oh, next time we fight, I'll fuck you up." So again, if we saw this in the anime, I'm curious if they would have made Anak have the dress here. Obviously, Ren has the tux. I wonder if they would have just put them in their regular clothes,
Really
probably,
sad we missed this.
right? Yeah, and then here, Ren is like asking her, like, "Oh, what about Viol?" Right? Like, oh my god, I can't believe we're skipping all this. So
Hmm.
here we see Jaja, which again, in the anime, all we saw was her sleeping in her bed in the hotel room. Here we see how she gets to that point. Oh shit,
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
this is how we get to the point where she's sleeping. Yeah, so we did miss all this stuff.
Oh my god, look at this crap, right? They're
I'm gonna
trying to
have to deduct
scare her.
some points because
Dude, look at how cute she is.
when I was giving my first assessment, you were saying that like maybe they have some of the stuff to the next episode, but now I don't think so.
They could still push it, but at this point, we're just gonna
I don't
show
think
it.
so. Unless they have a flashback, because look, we see Horiang here now.
Yeah, so then they're doing like this little stupid shit with the kids. They're taking the kids away. And, what is it? What is it? Oh shit! What is this? So obviously, he's trying to get with Goseng. Oh my god, what is all this shit? So it's obviously Missang
Hmm.
and Prince that we didn't know. If this was in
Hmm.
the anime,
And Birdie in the background,
oh yeah, Birdie's watching the Birdie's like, yo, I miss them.
because they're together.
Yeah, Birdie likes it. Birdie likes the ship. And you can see, I think Prince is crying. But either way, they're dancing, they're having a great time. It's almost as big. Now, obviously, it's not the same, it's not the same magnitude,
Hmm.
but it's like, man, Rack and Bomb, like, linking up, and then Horyang doing this with Ghosting are, like, two big, big moments for
Yeah.
character development. And
If
they
they put
butchered
all of this,
one. Go ahead.
yeah. I was gonna say if they put all of this in one episode, this would have been the best episode.
It would
Like
have
for
been, like,
real.
so nice.
If they
Like,
just had it,
oh
you
my
know?
god. Like usually in anime, right? You have a big fight episode and then you have a cooldown episode right after. This could have all been the cooldown episode, but they didn't want to
Hmm.
fucking do it. But it's like, man, they almost butcher the rack thing because it's so quick, and then they just skip the Horyang thing. Like, are you kidding me? So here, we get some Goseng lore. We see like how she's feeling. Goseng consistently, even in the anime, you kind of get visions of this too. You see that Goseng is like one of the weakest members here, and she doesn't really want to go up the tower. She enjoys going up it because she's with them, but she's kind of lost like her fire, and she's perfectly fine. Like if everyone on the squad said we don't want to go up anymore, we just want to chill, she likes that. She wants to do that. She
Hmm.
constantly questions like, why are we doing this? This is dangerous, and if we go up, people might get hurt, right? And here, she sees Horiang, and Horiang's telling her back or his backstory, and they're exchanging histories. He's telling about his history, right? This is some deep ass shit he's going into, right? And
Hmm.
then boom, we get the big reveal. Sophia knew everything. So, I guess we should have said this earlier, but if you don't, because I don't know what they're going to go into in the next episode, they still
Maybe they
could
will
put this
show this
in.
again. I
Because
don't
this is
know.
important, so I'm
This
kind of
seems like a
scared.
lot that they skipped now. Now I'm thinking they might actually add
But
this to the next episode.
if they add this in the next episode, they won't get to the fights. There's no way.
Yeah, it looks weird. Like it would be weird the organization, because like why would they show the Viol, like the Rack meets Viol thing
I don't know. 'Cause
without showing this first?
Bomb is the main character.
Like
That's
maybe
why.
they shouldn't have ended the episode there and then just showed all the party stuff and then Rack meets Bomb in the
But
next
then they'd
one.
run out of time. There's no way they could end it in however many episodes, I think. But
Yeah,
dude, we
yeah.
need to figure out how many episodes is this gonna be. Can you search it up?
I can do a quick Google search. Yeah.
Okay. If they even have it, but big forewarning here now, because again, I don't know if this is gonna be the next episode. We might be showing potential spoilers. So honestly, if you don't want to see potential spoilers,
Okay.
wait till next week and then come back if they haven't shown, like, if they showed the episode, we'll go over this shit too.
So I did a quick search.
Yes.
And it said 26.
Okay, maybe they could do it then. I think they could get to it.
There's a lot they gotta cover, but yeah,
they could do it with 26. They could do it.
You can tell in the episode these guys are cramming everything they can into the episode, so it makes you wonder why they'd skip something like this. But
yeah,
maybe they will have it in the next episode. So I don't know. Do you want to stop here and
no, because I want to get to at least the apartment when they show that. But
yeah, it's up to you.
I think. Okay.
I feel like we might have spoiled some people then unintentionally.
Yeah,
but it's not our fault, right? Because the chronology is them.
Yeah. So, okay, let me hold on. So I'm gonna take off the screen here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna show I'm gonna see what's next. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Yeah, like what we get to the. Okay.
Oh, right after we get to it. I think.
All right. You know what?
We could show it since we already showed everything else. We can go back to it.
So if this is a potential spoiler, we apologize, but
yeah,
we really can't fucking help it at this point. So let's go back to the.
It is strange they just cut out that part because right after we get to the meeting too, we haven't even seen the meeting of like the team members.
Yeah, like they're moving things around greatly. So here,
we'll just skip through it, I guess.
Yeah, Horian kind of tells her like, this is what I went through, and then he's kind of questioning. Again, we're seeing very good character development. Obviously, here's Kasano. Kasano's like, oh shit, what does that mean? Ooh, what is he asking? And then here we see Rack punishing
Pericule. Now we're back at the anime.
This looks way better in the manhwa. Like in the anime, again, they just reused the poor little animation. Here, Yi was with him, and she's telling him like, "What are you doing?" Right? And Rack's had enough. Rack's like, "You know what? Fuck it. I don't even."
And we got Pericule crying in the background.
Yeah.
I love it.
They make Pericule such a bitch in the manhwa. So yeah, he's like, "You know what? That's it. Come with me. We're getting him." And I like that shit, right? So here it's really weird because usually this is the part they get right in the anime. In the anime, they get the background, the whole environment right. Usually, right? Here, it was done way better in the manhwa because they barely showed anything because they just didn't have time.
The party was so rushed.
Yeah, this shit looks fucking nice, man. This party looks cool. So here we see Endor, and this is kind of the big question I had, right? Because it was so quick, Endorsi showed off at the party in the pretty dress. And obviously, it's Endorsi at the party. People are going to follow her. And then the next scene, we just see her in, like, the little hat, like, sneaking away. It's like, how did that happen? Like, how did she do that? But either way, here, we see the people. They're all like, oh, man, fuck, right? And, Repalejo looks way cooler. This guy, I don't know what's up with his eyes, but whatever. And then that's chapter. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be the last one here that they do. But we went through a lot. Like, that was a lot of chapters, potentially. Depending on what they show next episode. Here, you could see all of them failed. Except 2. This is, they showed May's thing here. They showed Repalejo. And again, they
didn't even show the points. It would be funny if they showed that Ruan May passed because she kept 1 point instead of going all in.
Yeah, so instead of going all in, which is so ironic because everyone else did, because they thought it was going to be a blowout. She was like, you know what, let me not do everything. And it's so funny that because she has 1 point, she's winning because she's literally second. It's like Repalejo had 500k, she had 1, but she still won. So either way, you can see Shibisu's kind of making fun of her. She's a little upset, and then they did kind of show this a little bit better in the anime. And this is such a minuscule thing that doesn't matter realistically, but in the anime, the stupid monk guy was like tapping his shit right here, and they actually showed it too, and I don't understand why they showed it, but they did. Here in the anime, in the manhwa, it doesn't even happen. You hear it happening with the tap tap, and that's it. But it's a quick thing. In the anime, again, instead of focusing on other things, they fucking focus on this guy tapping his
On the monk
shit
guy. Yeah,
for
when they could have
this.
shown the points.
This was longer than Rack hugging Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
This was longer than Rack hugging Bomb. What? What?
Big misuse of time.
Like, what the hell? But anyway, so here Punk or Funk is in, whichever one. Everyone's losing, and then obviously Kun says, like, oh, should it really count because it's kind of against the rules? And then, Punk or Funk is like, okay, yeah, sure, so let's have another test. The growth tournament. I think it was called something different in the anime, ironically enough. Excuse me. But either way, same effect. Here we have Endor kind of trying to follow Bomb, and she's getting pissed at Emily. So again, we saw all this. We're kind of near the end here. And then, she uses different verbiage here. She's like, oh, how could Jubilee Grace dump me, right? What the hell? So here, she's running out, and then we see the soldiers here. And then finally, again, they're really moving things around here. We see Viol in his tux going to Beta. And then here, they're talking. And again, we're getting a lot more Beta lore here, right? Why is he here? Oh, he's a runaway, right? We didn't know that in the anime. Because again, they're skipping over it. Him, like, running away, everyone getting alerted. We didn't see that. And he's also telling it here, right? So Bomb is asking about the ignition weapon in him. He has the replica. Okay, and this is where they call it the needle. They don't even call it the thorn, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's like retconned, I think. I think that's just like a retcon.
Yeah, I don't know why, but either way. So the needle, aka the thorn, is like obviously somewhere else. Here, we get and we have a nice little foreshadow right here. I wonder what that is. But either way, this is where Beta basically tells him what's up. And then, he's telling him to just steal it, just jack that shit. And then here we have Kun basically explaining to everyone how it's going to work. I think they did this horribly in the anime. And again, this is where they should fix it in the anime, where they should do it better. Here, Kun's actually describing how the game is going to be. If you want that, pause and read it, I guess, yourself, or go read the manhwa, which you should be doing anyway.
My guess is that they're probably going to explain it again once it gets to the actual tournament, I think.
They
might explain it in more detail. I hope so. But, I mean, if they don't, then that's a big fall for the anime.
Yeah, because look, he's already telling them about the points, right?
Yeah, the point system.
Oh, all regulars have a price. And they didn't mention this in the anime. Wangnan is the cheapest one, which is why they're sending him in first. Because everyone has a cost, but we don't know these things. Here, Rack has a cloak. Again, look at how funny this is. Rack has a cloak. He's hidden, right? He thinks he's hidden, but is this really hiding him?
It's like a bag on his head.
Yeah, like what the fuck? He's like a hoodlum. Here we see them breaking in.
Rack Dude, I love the interaction between Rack and Yua, by the way. Like, are you really going, Mr. Rack? Like, Yua really respects Rack for some reason. It's like
he's the boss
or something. It's pretty funny.
What did he say, Adrian? He's the boss.
He is the boss, yeah.
So here we see Jaja. We could see she's drunk. Again, we didn't get that in the anime.
Didn't show it. That's terrible.
Yeah, we just saw she was... Yeah, exactly. She was, like, tired. No, here we know she had too much fun.
Yeah, they easily could have gotten that detail, but they missed it. Whatever.
So here, in the anime, I think this was done horribly. Again, this is more of a nitpick. It's not a great magnitude thing, but the way they showed Rack running and bumping into something, it didn't look like he was turning any sort of corner or anything. It literally just looks like he bumped into the air. And it's like, huh? Here we see...
they showed like a first-person perspective thing.
Yeah. And here we could see he's bumping into Endor, and then Endor falls down, and his nose hurts.
And Rack notices, did I hit a tank?
Yeah, he's like, oh, that shit. Yeah.
That's a throwback. That's a throwback to when the challenge, not the Traveler, threw all the bombs at Endorsi. Remember in the beginning when Bomb was trying to hide his identity? He's like, what is she, a tank or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, just throw everything. Like, it's they're referencing that joke that they made fun of her.
Yep. So here, Rack is like, oh shit, right? So here it's a little bit different. He calls her the googly-eyed turtle. In the anime, she was like the ghost-eyed turtle. But either way, right? In the anime, it makes it seem really weird. Again, I think they did this wrong. Where in the anime, Rack seems scared of her, right? And it makes it seem like, it's obvious it's him. in the manhwa, he's trying to be like, oh no, I'm not Rack, right? Like he's trying to make it seem, and it's way more, at least to me, obvious that he's like, oh shit, he's trying to hide his identity. In the anime, I thought he was just scared of her. I was like,
Mm,
wow, like what the hell? But here we
yeah.
see he's trying to hide his identity because we could hear his inner monologue too. I
Yep.
shouldn't get caught here, right? And then here Bomb comes in. He's like, "Oh, Jaja." And again, they did this really badly in the anime too, because Bomb sees them for a while before he says like, "Oh, is it Jaja?" It's like, no,
Yeah,
it's
it was
obviously not
weird.
Jaja. It was so done horribly. But I'll get to the fabled scene here where we're waiting. Oh God, wait, I might not be able to. Oh no, he said this. Yeah.
No, no, it's right here.
So yeah, Kun said like, "Oh, I wonder if Rack is doing something dumb." They see each other. He's like, "Oh shit," right? And here Endor is like, "Oh shit." So we don't even get this part. So here we see that Endor tries to fuck him up. Obviously, Bomb is too good. He's running away. We don't. They literally changed it. Oh my god. And here we see
Mm,
Bomb's inner thing, right? Where he's like, "Wait, what the fuck? Why are they here?" He's trying to run, and look, something we don't even know that he really has because he's barely used it in the anime. The
yep.
love disc, right? And then he's running. They're catching him. Oh, Yi was coming in, and look, she already knows him because it's Viol, right? She knows. And then boom, she's even being nice. She's like, "Oh, please let us catch you," right? She's very respectful now. She used to be like much more of a hothead. Now she's like very like lock and step, especially with Rack and now with Bomb. So here, he's trying to run away, and you can see it's paining him. Like he doesn't want to run, but he has to, right? So and look, man. Oh my god, we missed this too. We didn't see Pericule do the round too. Boom, and then Rack gets his ass. And look, here's basically where it happens, right? He's looking at him. They're looking at him, and then oh man, they're like, no way, right? Oh god, he's crying, and then he's hugging him, and Pericule's not even there. And then, this is where Endor's even questioning it. And okay, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, damn, they skipped the whole chase sequence. Like,
Wow.
what? Nah,
Yeah,
okay, you know
I
what?
didn't even know how much they
You know
skipped until
what?
now.
This episode, the fight, I'll still stand by the fight. It was, again, if the lowest score is a 65, it got a 65. And even then, that's 65 by Tower of God standards, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about real anime standards. Real anime standards, that fight was subpar at best. But man, like it looks okay, it looks decent at times, but oh my god. Oh, we missed the whole chase. Yo, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna have to deduct some points.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
this
change my
episode really
assessment
upset
now.
me.
Yeah, realizing how much they skip now is crazy to me.
Dude, it's so sad, man. It's so
Mm-hmm.
freaking sad. But
Because that's stuff that the anime
oh,
onlys are never gonna see. All this stuff,
there's
like it's
so much more.
yeah,
There's
all the character
literally
development, the party,
the
the
fucking,
interaction at
yeah,
the
the
Fug hideout,
interactions. Oh my god.
Shia being drunk. You missed out
Oh
on all
god.
of it.
Please just read the manhwa, please. But anyway, so that's gonna be the fucking episode. But oh my god, man! Now that I know the full context, we're fucking going for a fucking hour too, because there was
Mm-hmm.
so much they skipped through.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that was
they covered the
horrible.
most stuff in this chapter, I think, and
They skipped the most stuff
yeah,
in
because
this
they had to
episode.
skip the most stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see next week if our fears are true. But going by the general trend of what the anime does, it's definitely gonna be true.
Yeah.
But
So
either
the
way,
sad thing is that I think anime onlys are probably going to enjoy this episode a lot more
they
than other
don't even
episodes, but they're
know.
still yeah, they
They
don't know
don't
what they're
even know
missing
what they're
out on.
missing, man. It's so sad.
Mhm.
It's so fucking sad. But either way, now I re-rate this episode as horrible garbage. But the fight was decent though, kind of. Either way, do you have
Yep,
anything
I'm
else to
with
add,
you.
Adrian? Okay,
I'm
cool.
with you on that one. Yeah, they had me in the first half, but
We saw the
the
truth.
second half of the episode really lost me.
So I guess that's
They
kind of how the anime enjoyers look at it. How we kind
it
of looked at
is
it before we remembered what they skipped.
yeah. You know what's crazy? It's so they did the Enoch versus Rand fight, and that took literally half the episode,
Uh
and
huh.
they still cut stuff. So like if you
Yeah,
really wanted to have like a good workshop
extend it.
battle, it needed to have its own anime season.
Yeah,
So like season 2 should have been split into 2 seasons if you really wanted to have no cut content, because like at the pace they're going right now, and they were always going fast. Like we were thinking from the beginning, like the first half of season 2, they're like,
mhm.
oh, they're going fast because they're trying to get to the workshop battle, or like they're trying to do this, they're trying to do that.
Yeah,
But like
and the
literally,
second
even
half
we're
too.
here, we're
Yeah,
at the workshop battle, and they're still speeding through everything because they have to get past. They have to finish the story.
yeah, and the
So,
second half too. When that started, when like the midway thing happened, I even
hmm
said, "Oh, it feels like they're going faster." And at least in the beginning, they weren't skipping too much. And I was like, "Okay, this is kind of like okay that they're doing. Obviously not
yeah,
perfect, but it was all right." But they just
hmm
went off the rails here. Like, holy shit!
right, yeah. So my question is like, I don't even think this was doable. Like, even if you had like a good animation studio, yeah, it would have looked well. But
They
I
would have
think no
skipped too
matter
much.
what, they would have cut stuff.
Yeah, they would
Is
have
what I'm
skipped way
starting to
too
see now.
much.
There's no way you could have gotten to all this content without cutting stuff in the amount of episodes they have.
Even
They
if it
need
did
like a
look
30
good.
something chat, like,
Yeah. Oh
they have
yeah,
to do
for
something
sure.
like out of the ordinary to make it all fit.
So before, I think we were kind of saying if they just added one or two extra episodes, it would have been
Hmm
okay. I think now it would have had to been like four.
Yeah, yeah. Or they'd have to pick and choose certain things. Like they'd still have to cut stuff, but they wouldn't miss out on big things like this. Like they would definitely have space for, the
Yeah,
party and things like that if they added like a few more episodes. But yeah, no
for
matter
sure.
what, they would have had to skip things.
Yeah,
It's
so
crazy.
it really is. So either way though, I think, we still could potentially be wrong. I don't think we are with the amount of episodes left, but we still could be wrong if they just put, and because they like to reorder, they could put it next episode, and if so, again, I am sorry I showed a lot there, but
Hmm
it's the anime's fault, it's not ours. Either way, though, that's pretty much going to be it. Do you have any last impressions you want to share, Adrian?
If they do put things in the next episode, one, it's gonna be really weird,
Uh
like
huh.
the timing of it, because a lot of this stuff has already happened now.
Yeah.
Um, and it still doesn't take away from the fact that like they already skipped a lot of stuff, because rack hugging bomb, that can't be redone in another episode.
Yeah,
Like
they
the
can't
the
have the chase
interactions with
happen now.
Paracule being there and everything, that cannot be redone because we're already there.
Yeah.
You'd have to redo the whole scene and pretend that this never happened. So I think what I'm thinking, like how they directed this episode, is like they wanted to end with rack hugging bomb,
Yeah, they,
but they
they
didn't
meant
have,
it.
like they couldn't do it because like the organization of like the events happening and everything, like if they had to cut way too much to get here. So it's like they got there,
They
but at
knew
what
what they were
cost?
doing. They knew what they
Yeah.
were doing to get here, and they said, okay, let's do it anyway.
Yeah, which is not good. I think this is the worst episode they could have done such a cut on, because now this episode's going to be remembered as the episode where they cut a bunch of shit on, not the Ryan v whatever fight. I mean, for some people, like,
Anime
so I guess it's
onlys.
like a double-edged sword, because anime onlys are going to be like, wow, that fight was so cool, and completely ignore the fact that so much stuff was cut, and like the
Hmm.
awkwardness of it, they might like, not notice it. But like the anime onlys, it's kind of like bittersweet now, because I noticed some of the stuff was cut, but I didn't know this much was cut. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even see this coming because it's been a
Yeah.
while since I've read it. And now that I've seen it, I'm like, I don't know how
Wow.
to feel anymore. So yeah, this has been
So
a really long review, but holy shit, what an episode they
yeah.
tried to do here.
Wow. So either way,
Hmm
again, I can't fully cast all the stones because, I mean, realistically speaking, even if they do, I mean, again, like you said, no matter what, they did skip some stuff. They can't go back on it. The
hmm
whole Gosang Horyang thing, they could fit into next episode if they want. We'll see.
hmm
But even if they do fit in, it's probably gonna be done worse. So
Yeah,
it's like, what are we even saying? But yeah,
right.
that's pretty much gonna be it. So we hope
Yeah.
everyone enjoyed. I don't know how you could enjoy this now knowing the truth, but it is what it
hmm
is.
Let's
And
hear your thoughts in the comments
yeah, tell
of
us
what you
what you
guys think.
think. Some
Because
of you, we already
uh-huh.
kind of know what they're gonna say.
Yeah, but also about like the awkward position they're in, where it's like even if you had a good animation studio, how would they fit everything? You know what I
Extend
mean?
the episodes, like put more
Yeah,
episodes
but let's say
in.
you can't extend the episode. You can't
That's the
do,
hard part. Then don't do
yeah,
it.
like if you
Don't
had
do
this
it
amount of
unless
time,
you're doing it
yeah,
right. Like this
that's
is
the
a
issue.
this is a butchery. That's what it is. It's just a
Hmm
butchery. Oh my
Yep.
god, though. But either way, that's gonna be it. We hope everyone enjoyed. We'll see you guys next time for the next butchery session.
hmm
Eee!